What is going on? Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Footy Fantasy Podcast. Comes to you live every Sunday. And it's the end of the season. Happy end of season Sunday to everyone out there. And to help us today, we have our Arsenal friend, man like Henry. What's going on, bro?
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me.
And our chief Liverpool correspondent, the man that Hitler didn't watch the Liverpool game today. Wow, I'm shocked. What's going on? How you doing?
I'm good. I'll be reporting live from the Europa League next season. So I'm happy to be doing that, something different instead of doing all the normal things, reporting from Champions League and Premier League venues. I'll be reporting from FC Karabag.
Exactly.
Wi-Fi password.
Reporting from Cyprus, reporting from Romania.
It's been a while.
It remains small now for this year in Nigeria.
Yes, so.
Welcome everyone. And if before we get into the show, we are on YouTube. Check us out at Footy Fantasy on YouTube. On Twitter, we're at Footy AD Fantasy, and on Instagram, we are at Footy Fantasy. So if you like our content, share it, like it, subscribe to the channel, and that way you can be notified whenever we're going live or whenever we have match reactions posted to the channel and things like that. And even though the season is over, this is not going to be, the end of us giving you football content until the season starts. Throughout the summer, we're going to be having the podcast regularly as well. So just hang tight. But today is the last day of the season, bro. It feels like this season was 3 seasons long. Do you believe that? Remember that Conte Tuchel handshake thing? It was this season. It happened this season. Like this season, this season, Frank Lampard's Everton has played against Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea this season. Yeah. It is mad. It is crazy. But before we get into Premier League talking points, I want to talk about. I want to open up this conversation with the Vinicus issue. I put this on the agenda for today, and I put it at the very top because look, this is something that it's one of those things where we're like, yet again. We've seen this happen with Lukaku in Serie A. We've seen it happen with even Paul Pogba in Serie A and in the Premier League as well. We've seen it happen with black players all over the world. And for those who don't know, the issue with Vinicus was there was a huge section of Valencia. It was the Valencia game, right? Valencia game. Valencia fans at the Mestalla Stadium. I believe that was maybe a week and a half ago. And they were pretty much, doing monkey chants and pretty much attacking him in a vile, racist manner. The ref sent him off. The ref didn't. I wouldn't say the ref sent him off because he was reacting. He was reacting to the racist abuse, but the ref sent him off while not looking at the whole VAR clip. And what even made it worse was the chief of the Spanish. It's not the La Liga chief, Javier Tebas, went on and kept going back and forth with Vinicus on Twitter, talking about Vinicus needs to educate himself, when all Vinicus was doing was trying to call attention to the racist abuse he was suffering. Now the La Liga chief has come back and tried to apologize a little bit. They fired some of the VAR officials, and they've done things to make themselves look better in the media. My theory is that the La Liga lawyers pulled Tebas to the side and told him, "Hey, look, whatever you said on Twitter to Vinicus, you better walk it back, because this is not good for the brand. This is not good for the league. This is not good for you personally." So maybe that's why he has come back to kind of like apologize. But Ola, I know you are one of the at least on this forum, you're one of the prominent voices on on issues like this.
Mm.
At this point, what do we do? Do we start deducting points? Right? Do we start like do because now because I mean they can ban fans from the stadium all they want. I mean, it keeps happening. So do we start
Yeah.
deducting points? What do we do?
Yeah, La Liga is just a weird. They have this weird situation going on there, and the red card first of all was just it was a travesty for him to have gotten that red card.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he retaliated, but they showed the referee just the part where he was retaliating. You know, the VA. That's why they got fired. The
Yeah.
VAR officials,
Yeah.
the VAR officials. Sorry. Basically, they didn't show where your man was holding Vinicus in the chokehold for like
Exactly.
20 seconds. You know, they didn't show that. They just went and showed him. They showed the referee, oh, look at this guy, he retaliated. Okay, why didn't you show what happened to him first?
Yeah.
And so that was just, apart from the racism, that was just even a travesty in the first place that, okay, that even happened. But then the racism issue is for Vinicius especially, he's 22 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even at any age, you shouldn't have to deal with racism. But you know, imagine at that age, this guy is still maturing into himself, and he has been dealing with this over 2-3 years since he was a teenager.
Yeah.
Like your old stadium, like like okay, let's just say majority of people in the stadium making monkey chants at you. You know, how demoralizing is that? You know, and then you have the FA who are not standing up for you. Like you said, this La Liga chief was going on Twitter and saying, educate yourself. What nonsense is that? Educate yourself.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? You know, even though he walked it back, I just find that very offensive. Like, he's basically he's victim blaming. He's blaming the victim of the offense. Yeah. Like, you're saying he's the one causing it. How can you say this guy is the one who is instigating the racist abuse against himself? He's just playing football. He's just playing football, and people are abusing him, and then you're saying, educate yourself. What are you talking about? But why I said La Liga has a very weird situation. There's this correspondent is on one of these podcasts. He's Spanish. Now, he wasn't making excuses, but he was saying why it's difficult for La Liga to punish these teams is like in their constitution for their football league, they don't take those matters. They are not the ones in charge of judging those matters. So, for example, when there's a racist incident, La Liga will report it to the city council or wherever that took place and say, okay, look, this crime has been committed or whatever. And then those will be the ones who will investigate and then like recommend what punishment. So basically in their Spanish football constitution, La Liga actually don't have the power to enforce punishment. Which is strange because, okay, it's constitution, it's written by human beings. So why can't you rewrite it? Just rewrite the constitution. Now you see that this stuff is getting worse and worse. So write it into your constitution and say, okay, now we give the Spanish La Liga FA power to deduct points, power to close stadium and all of that, and power to like get people arrested. Because in England, that's it. The clubs have power to ban somebody for life. They have power to report you to the police and get you arrested. So they should write that into their constitution. So they keep hiding behind that. So that's what they've been hiding behind. They've been hiding behind, oh, we don't have the power to actually enforce any change. But yeah, this is 2023. You can't keep hiding behind that. You can change the constitution and give yourself the legal powers to enforce some change. In answer to your question, I just think stadium closure, number one. Any racist abuse, just close. Don't let their fans into the stadium for the next maybe 5 games or something. Let their brains reset on that first. Then when they do it again, start taking points from the clubs because that will make the clubs sit up. The clubs will be like, okay, now we need to tell our fans to behave or else we'll start losing 5 points, 6, 7 points, 8 points. If the stadium ban doesn't work, because monetary fines don't work on this kind of situations. Monetary fines, there's too much money in football, man. How much do you want to fine Valencia? Eventually, they don't even fine them millions. They just fine them maybe 100,000 euros or whatever. That's nothing. What's this monetary fines? Close the stadium. Close the stadium for like 5 games. Or then if that continues, start taking points from the teams. Because it's really, really sad. I don't know. I know in England they have their own issues, but it's not this bad in England. You know, I mean, they catch them, they arrest them. Even if you send racist abuse on social media, now they track you down. They ban you, you know. So yeah, it's sad. It's really sad.
It is. Let me before I come to you, Henry. Let me read some comments real quick. we have a comment from Facebook user. If you're commenting from Facebook and you do not allow the StreamYard app to have access to like your name and stuff, it'll come out as Facebook user. So if you want to add your name to after every comment, that way we know who it is. But Facebook user says, this is the only trophy Klopp is missing. We lost the last final to Sevilla. Hope this time we win it and go back to UCL and start for 24-25. I'm guessing this might be DJ KBSE or Linger. I'm not sure.
One of them.
One of them. All the refs got the sack. Karma was on overtime. Yeah, they did, but still not enough from my viewpoint. Close stadium matches first time. Then points deduction for any other instance in the next 2 seasons. That'd be great. Yep, I agree with that. Oh, this is psycho. What's
the good dog.
The good dog. StreamYard is I think StreamYard is the platform we're streaming from.
Yeah.
I don't know if it comes up on your end. Anyway, Henry, what do you think? Because look, you're an Arsenal fan. You saw what happened with Bukayo Saka at the Euros. And like all I was saying, look, it's bad in England as well. We're not over here talking about Spain and Italy are the only places where it's bad. No, it's bad in England as well. But bro, what did you make of it? What do you think should happen?
Yeah, I was very disappointed in the officials. That was really firstly what kind of caught my attention in the whole scenario, and also the Valencia players. I kind of, we kind of don't mention the role they also played in it, because sometimes you can identify some of these things, right? These are not new phenomena in football, right? I feel like they also sort of exacerbated the issue, because you could easily be empathetic to a fellow player and what they're going through in real time. These things are in football. I'm hoping and praying, again, that things will change. But I think the way they'll change is by us, as a whole, standing against it, and most importantly, making some of these, very, very strict rules against it, right? England has done a little bit of a better job compared to the Italian league, as Ola said, and the Spanish league. I think what's most important, and I kind of agree with you people's, sentiments that, let them close the stadiums for a few games, 3 games for first incident. Second incident, close the stadium and deduct points. Third incident, close stadium, deduct points, add fine. It keeps getting worse if it's a repeat offense. I think at that point in time, they would have no other issue. They will have no other choice than to find a long-term solution. It feels like, especially, and I'm singling out, the Spanish league and Italian league even more than the German league, right? We do hear about German league once in a while, but not. It's, for me, in my opinion, it's more rampant in the Italian and the Spanish league. So I feel like if you put all these things in place, they will be forced at some point when it starts to hurt their bottom line, because it takes a while for things like this to start hurting the bottom line of football clubs. So the moment they start affecting their bottom line, maybe endorsements, they lose a few endorsements and people start to like shy away from them, then they will really start taking it serious. But it was very disgraceful. We can always just keep, advocating and hoping that it changes, though.
Yeah. And I agree with you when you talked about how the Valencia players almost encouraged it. Because look, when you can tell when you're on the field, you're closest to the action. Not only that, you're closest to how a player feels. When you hear a monkey chant when you're on the field, right? And had the players, Vinicus was a lot of the Real Madrid players, including Carlo Ancelotti, was telling coach, stop this game. You have to stop this game. Had at least maybe even the Sevilla captain gone and supported the Real Madrid players, like, look, you know what? Shut this down. That would have helped the situation a little bit. So yeah, you're right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Because he probably would even have saved the jobs of the refs.
He probably would have. Exactly.
Cover their blushes.
You're so right. Even Tebas himself would have saved him the embarrassment, because again, he came back and walked back some of those comments, but I'm my thing is what a person really is how they act on instinct. Okay.
Absolutely.
So for Tevez to go back and respond to Vinicius in that manner right there, that shows me that's exactly what he really is. That is exactly what he is. And maybe like after a couple days, the lawyers called him like, "Hey, bro, you can't be doing this. This is bad for the brand."
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what they did. They're like, "Bro, you're attracted because look, if he did that against, and I mean, and I'm not saying a player's value should depend on who they play for, but Real Madrid are a huge force in world football and in La Liga, right? If it was a player in maybe like Osasuna or something, a team that doesn't really hold that much weight in La Liga, I don't think we would have heard too much about this. I don't think we would have. So anyway, look, it is a shared responsibility across the footballing world. Look, we don't even want to get started on what's going on with our Italian friends, but some leagues are better than others. Some leagues are better than others, but still, one instance is way too many. One instance is way too many. Let me take another comment. I think it's the second again. Monetary fines make no sense to top league clubs. That's true. Not even a slap on the wrist. True. It has to be something that impacts them, like we discussed, closed stadium matches, points deduction for subsequent offenses in the next 2 to 3 seasons, so they remember it beyond a particular season. This sets examples. That is 100% right. Now let's shift gears and talk about the first 11 team of the season for the Premier League plus manager. Obviously the season is over. This one, I can already see Henry is going to pack this team full of Arsenal players. I can see Bukayo Saka, Odegaard, Gabriel, the other Gabriel, all of them. I can already see it. So Henry, just tell us your Arsenal of the season.
Thank you very much, my fellow hosts.
I can see the paper full of Arsenal players.
But I'm actually very. You know what's funny? It's not a lot of Arsenal players that actually made my list. Contrary to what a lot of people. I mean, I know there are crazy Arsenal fans out there, but there are really some.
Most of them are crazy.
There are really some. There are really some logical, realistic Arsenal fans too that are out there. I, for one, and I'm segueing away a little bit from what you just asked, but we'll get there anyways. Let me not even talk about that. With my team, I went with a 4-3-3 approach for the formation. Up top, we already know. I think everybody's going to choose Haaland. If you don't choose Haaland, you're on the long thing.
Spoiler Haaland.
To the right, I have Saka. To the left, I didn't want to use De Bruyne in the center, so I moved De Bruyne to the left. I put Odegaard just to accommodate Odegaard. I think he played really good this year. He probably was one of the right things that happened with Arsenal. So I moved him to play right behind the wingers, and then I put Gundogan to play next to him, and then I put the position I actually found very tricky was that 4 position. I struggled to choose between Rodri, Caicedo, or Partey, but I kind of removed Partey, so I'm just going to go with Caicedo. I know most people most likely choose Rodri though. And then on the left, I chose Estupinan, the Brighton left back. I think a lot of people don't talk about that guy.
Yeah,
Brighton's fullbacks. If you go back, break down their matches, you'll see the work they're putting in those guys.
Yeah.
On my left center back, I struggled a little bit, but I ended up going with Newcastle's Botman. I think he was also one of those on the, people didn't really notice. But if you look at fantasy scores across, fantasy, and you also watch the games and see what these guys were doing, that you start to realize why Newcastle made the Europa, right? It's because of these guys like Brighton and Newcastle. Champions League. The beginning, the foundation of their success this season was that backline. Right next to him, I also struggled with this. I didn't want to choose Saliba because you guys are going to say,
it's your team, it's your team. You can pick Saliba if you want to.
I think Saliba was a very, very big revelation. I think you can also tell from how Arsenal's season tumbled when he went off. But just because City won the league and because of Ruben Diaz, a little bit more versatile, I chose Ruben Diaz in that role. And then on the right back, I chose Newcastle's Trippier. I think he's also a little bit underrated. My keeper, it was between Pope, Raya, and De Gea, but I gave it to De Gea because he had 14 clean sheets. You can't, I mean, even though I know he had some crazy errors and everything, 14 clean sheets in the Premier League is not ordinary. I mean, we know,
it was 17. Was it not like
17?
Okay.
Yeah, was it 17? I thought it was 14. 17. See, even more. See? So that's not, every now and then you have blemishes. Honorable mentions. Fernandez, I just couldn't fit him into
Bruno Fernandes or Enzo Fernandez?
Yes. No, Bruno Fernandes.
Even me, I'm shocked. That comment is like,
no.
Which Fernandes?
Hold on now. Mitoma, Almiron, and then a lot of people too might not appreciate, but Trossard that came from, that came into Arsenal.
Yeah.
That guy is a baller. It's probably, if Arsenal can find a way to integrate him properly, he would do good. Like just the assist alone that guy brought to Arsenal.
He had 2 today, I think. Was it 2 assists?
Yeah, he had like 2 today. But that's my team. You see, very Arsenal lights.
You know what?
Oh, my coach. I didn't choose my coach. My coach.
Oh, yeah.
Brighton's coach.
De Zerbi?
Oh, De Zerbi. Yeah, good shout.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Let me take a quick comment before we go to you, Ola. I think Dr. Sycat, good doc says Pope, Trippier, Saliba, and Botman and Lewis. Wait. Pope, Trippier, Saliba, Botman, Dunk, and Luke Shaw. Okay. Is he playing the 3 at the back?
5. I think he has 5.
Yeah. Okay. So Shaw and Trippier are wing backs. Okay. Odegaard, Rodri, KDB, Salah, and Haaland. Okay.
He has more than 11 players there.
Yeah. Dr. Sycat. You are doing Todd settings, so you are doing 4-4-3 settings, Dr. Sycat. He said Botman / Dunk. Okay, Okay. I was like, what in the Todd Bowley is going on?
4-4-3.
4-4-3. Subs, he has David De Gea, Wilson Rice, Bukayo Saka, manager Eddie Howe. Okay.
All right.
Ola, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll start from the back anyway. I'll build it up from the back. I'm putting Nick Pope as my keeper of the season. Partly because I beef Jordan Pickford. I don't like him. With his short arms and his hyperactive self. But he did it. Yeah, T-Rex, man. Shays. I don't think he should be England's number 1. I think Pope or what's his name from Arsenal should Ramsdale should be in for a shout. But
I'm shocked Henry did not put Ramsdale.
Yeah. Pope, I think it's very solid. He plays well with his feet. I think it's provided them a good foundation this season.
Yeah.
He was suspended for that final against United also. Yeah. So I think they missed him in the League Cup. Yeah. He got a red card against Liverpool. Keeps catch the ball outside the box. I think that's one of the few errors he made this season. So they paid for that. Right back, Trippier. Yeah. He's like solid, very solid. Yeah. He that set pieces, he takes their set pieces, gets a few assists. So I put him a right back.
And isn't he their captain too? He's a good solid captain.
Very astute signing, because when they bought him, people are like, why are they going to buy this 29-year-old from Atletico? And they turned out to be like their most important player. One of their most
for cheap too. It wasn't like 15 million.
Yeah,
something like
very cheap. It wasn't like, oh no, big money. They just went to guide it, and you can see, that leadership quality is there. Experience shows. Yeah. I put Saliba as one of my center backs. I think I've said in one of the previous shows. I just think he was one of the most influential players in Arsenal's title challenge. And when he got that injury, that was a minor factor anyway, but it was still a factor in them starting to drop points, considering a lot of goals. Ruben Diaz. I put Ruben Diaz at center back from Man City. Yeah, I think he has been their most consistent center back. Left back, it was between Estupinian, a bit like Henry. I like Estupinian. Yeah, I think it's very solid. But it was between him and Shaw, and I think I'll go for Luke Shaw because Luke Shaw, he didn't only excel as left back, he played as center back, left center back. This season, there was a time where United were struggling with injuries, and then you started putting him as center back, and he was doing well there. I think people just underrate that. Not many fullbacks can just go into center back and start doing well. Yeah. And I think I need to put in because United kept a lot of clean sheets, even though people were. There were matches where you guys United considered a lot of goals, but there are matches where they kept a lot of clean sheets too. And if you are part of a team keeping a lot of clean sheets, I think you deserve to be in the best 11 of the season. So I'll put Luke Shaw ahead of Estupinian. And midfield, Rodri. I won't say too much on Rodri, like one of the best defensive midfielder players around. Yeah. But I don't know, maybe this is about to sound like a crush, like I'm crushing on this guy, but this Casemiro guy, I can't get enough of this guy, man. I know Kwame doesn't really rate this guy, but
I know. I actually rate him. I just think you overrate him.
No, I just like him too much. I think it's apart from being world class, I think the influence he brings on that team is maybe because if you see what other defensive midfielders in quotes are doing in other teams, maybe that's why I appreciate him so much, because some of the stuff he's doing, Fabinho. I love Fabinho. In his wildest dreams, Fabinho can't do some of this stuff Casemiro is doing. Not just even goal scoring, even playmaking. Like I saw one no look pass that he did in the previous game for you guys. Like where did that come from? Just no look pass, just chip the ball, and then you guys scored from it.
And the amount of runs he makes from deep into the ball.
That's what I mean. That's what okay, it's supposed to be a defensive midfielder in quotes, but man, some of the stuff this guy is doing on the ball in midfield. I really rate that guy. So of course, it's going in my 11 of the season. Okay. I think Gary Neville also put him at like best signing of the season, which I had even said before. I was like, man, this guy's. I think in one of our earlier programs, podcast, I said, man, this is the signing of the season. Seriously, the impact. Of course, maybe I just rate him too highly. I don't know why I just like this guy's just so good. He's just so good. Odegaard, fantastic player. He is going into my midfield. When I looked at the stats, I saw he has 15 league goals. I didn't even know he had scored that many. 15 league goals this season. I was like, Odegaard, wow. 15 league goals. That's not bad at all, for a midfielder. So I'm putting him there for my midfield. So my midfield is Odegaard, Rodri, Casemiro. Then up front, Haaland, of course. Mr. Android himself. That guy is not a human being, man. So Haaland up front. I'm putting Martinelli on the left wing, on the left forward row. Yeah. He's been very impactful. I think, he's on his way to being world class if he keeps it up. Yeah. And then I'm putting Salah ahead of Saka. Sorry, Arsenal guys. There's no way I'm having Saka ahead of Salah this season. Salah has 30 goals this season and like 17 assists. Now, Saka is nowhere near those numbers. So Salah definitely. In my 11. So I'll just
Henry, you're on mute.
Henry. Oh, okay. We thought you were talking.
Oh, we thought you were talking to us. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So I'll just run through it. Pope, Trippier, Saliba, Diaz, Shaw, midfield, Rodri, Casemiro, Odegaard, front three, Salah, Haaland, Martinelli. Yeah, that's me.
That's not bad. Who's your manager?
Manager Guardiola is on his way to a treble. Okay. Come on. Unless you guys can stop him. United is the only team that can actually stop. I don't think Inter can stop him.
Even us, we can't stop him. Nobody should even hope Man United can stop him.
You never know. It's a derby. It's still a Manchester derby.
It's a one-off game. Look, we'll get there. We'll get there. This is my own first 11. Goalkeeper, Nick Pope. Look, the guy is. I said it. I also said it earlier in the season, even before the World Cup. Nick Pope should be England's number one goalkeeper.
Yeah,
point blank. Period. What Eddie Howe is doing, Nick Pope is the foundation of it. Because if he doesn't, because he's decent with his legs. He knows how to play. He knows how to play, and he's also a good shot stopper. Like he's a fantastic shot stopper. So yeah, Nick Pope, right back, Kieran Trippier for the reasons you guys have mentioned. Center back pairing. Oh, I struggled with this one. I put Sven Botman and Ruben Diaz. I wanted to put Licha Martinez, but he missed. I couldn't put him in good conscience because he missed the last 8-9 games of the season.
Yeah.
So definitely not ahead of Botman, not ahead of Ruben Diaz, but honorable mention. Left back, just like you, it was between Estupinian and Luke Shaw. But again, Luke Shaw, he has been a revelation this season.
Yeah.
Like I remember us Man United fans this time last season, we were talking about some players are completely dead. They cannot be resurrected. And Luke Shaw was like number one on that list. And even me, I remember when I was sitting here ranting and I was saying that the only crossing Luke Shaw can do is when he crosses the street from McDonald's to Burger King. So from that Luke Shaw to what we have today, I mean, it's been a revelation. So credit where it's due. And he also plays center back. It's because of Luke Shaw that we didn't suffer defensive drop off when Licha went out for the season. So big up to him. Midfield, Rodri, say less. Like I don't even need to explain. Next to Rodri, I'll put Bruno Guimaraes in that 8th position, and then De Bruyne in 10.
All right.
Left wing, it was between Grealish and Martinelli. But I like Martinelli. I like how he's like reinvented himself, and whatever medicine Arteta is giving him to make him fit, just keep giving. If he's Agbo, or if he's Lucozade, I don't know what it is, just keep giving it to him, because I did not expect him to be this fit for this long. And I think he has used that as a springboard to just kind of like explode in performances. Dude was legit this season. On the right, between Salah and Saka, Mohamed Salah, like even in a horrible Liverpool season, Mohamed Salah still, the man is still putting up big numbers. And again, some of us that were in the beginning of the season talking about, Mane, Salah, Liverpool.
Salah showed up without Mane.
Like, so we see how Mane is struggling over there, and we see how Salah is again, like in a bad Liverpool season, he's putting up big numbers. So, and up front, Haaland, like say less. So honorable mention, I wanted to find a way to squeeze Odegaard in that midfield. I really, really wanted to. But I can't put him ahead of De Bruyne. Like, I can't. That's just what. But honorable mention, Odegaard. Honorable mention, Caicedo. Honorable mention, Marcus Rashford. And my coach is Eddie Howe.
Eddie Howe, okay.
Yeah, my coach is Eddie Howe.
Honorable mention, Marcus Rashford too. Yeah,
Rashford,
there was a stint this season. Dude was unstoppable. Yeah, like literally. I remember even Ayo on the podcast. I remember we did have a debate then. Remember Ogakwame, when he was like, we were comparing Saka and Rashford, and literally almost like 3 weeks back to back, Rashford was scoring 2 goals weekly. Like it was nothing. Honorable mention Rashford for me too.
Yeah, Marcus Rashford. Yeah, big up to him. All right, so we've seen these Mason Mount stories. First of all, I'm tired of it. Okay, I'm sick. I am sick of hearing about Mason Mount. Not only that. Chelsea have the nerve. These men have the audacity to ask for 80 million. They must be talking about 80 million shillings, because it cannot be 80 million pounds. Maybe 80 million naira or something like that. What? 80 million pounds for Mason Mount? Mason? Nah. Mason, like, I'll rather pay money for Lee Mason than Mason Mount. Allow it. I'm not paying 80 million for Mason Mount. So wait, who by a show of hands, who here wants Mason Mount in their team?
I want him, not for 80 million, Sha. Not for 80 million.
Okay, how much will you pay for him, Ola?
He's in his final year of his contract. I don't know what they're smoking, thinking they get 80 million for Mason Mount. He's in final year, and he got injured towards the end of the season, so I can't be paying more than 30 million for him. Okay, English tax. Let's put English tax 35 million because English tax. Yeah. But in relation to the question, okay, where would it fit in?
Ola, you're a Liverpool fan.
Yeah. Fine.
Can I speak before you?
Yeah.
I anticipate that what I'm going to say is probably what you're going to say.
Mm-hmm.
I think you know what's funny about this whole situation. I think the team he fits the most is actually Ola's team. Is actually Liverpool.
I agree.
I think Klopp will find a way to bring the best out of that guy because technically Mason Mount is actually a decent player. I'm not even going to front. Chelsea made us not appreciate a lot of players this season, but Mason Mount is a technically gifted player. And what I admire the most about him is he has this way whereby before he gets the ball, he's already thinking 1-2 moves ahead. Like there were certain things I saw when on some film breakdown where he dropped down to feeling. He's always aware of like his surroundings, his positional awareness. People don't give him props for it, right? The closest person he reminds me of in Liverpool that if he gets it right in Liverpool, he's gonna and I suspect that's why Klopp might be eyeing him. Don't be shocked if he's a newer version of Wendolam. Is he Wendolam? We had a Wendolam. Don't be shocked that guy comes and he replicates, because even the numbers, there was a comparison between Wendolam's numbers and his numbers, and you can tell like the numbers are very, very similar. But I think he would have a new lease of life if he ends up in Liverpool, and then we would all come back and start appreciating him more. That's my own opinion.
Okay, so back to I agree with you. Let me just say that I agree with you that out of all the the three teams, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man United, it fits better in Liverpool because Klopp does not use an 8. I mean, he doesn't use a 10.
He doesn't use 10. Yeah,
he only uses 8. Like maybe you use a 6 here and there, but he uses 8, and that's it. His midfield is 3 8s. So you need to have decent passing ability, and you need to have an engine because you're going to be pressing your life away.
Yeah,
Mason Mount can do that, which is why I think he'll fit better. He'll fit better in Liverpool. But Ola, what are you if you say you want him, but for no more than 35 million?
Yeah, the reason is if he's an 8, what we're looking for is goals from midfield. So for us, we're struggling with the midfielders who are not scoring enough goals. That's why when Curtis Jones started scoring like towards the end of the season, we're like, well, we finally found a midfielder that knows how to score goals. Because our midfield, they rarely score goals. But I think if we bought him, it would be like an 8, a right-sided 8. It will be the one where Ednison is playing now. He'll be playing from that side. He'll be going towards the right wing, maybe making it into the run, making late runs into the box, getting us. We just need goals from midfield. We need somebody who will be supplementing the front three with goals. The issue with Mason Mount at the moment is I don't know if the defensive side, because Klopp, okay, he loves an 8. He loves people playing 8. But the problem is you have to be able to defend well, as an 8. So going backwards, how good is your defensive game? So that's why I'm not too sure about Mason Mount, whether his defensive game will match his offensive game. Because going forward, we know that he can score goals, he can create assists. He's tactically sound. He knows, like Henry was saying, he knows how to go into different formations. But can that guy press and defend the way Klopp will want you to defend as an 8? That's the only issue I'm not sure of. So that's why I won't want to pay more than that, 35 to 40 million. Even that one is because basically, if you're in the last year of your contract and you're not a world-class player, you shouldn't be paying more than that for that.
And how many appearances did he even make this season for Chelsea?
Exactly. He was even injured a bit, before. His injury record is quite good generally, but this season he started picking up injuries. So of course you have to be a bit wary of that. And I don't know if all of this story, maybe it's even the agent that is putting out all of this story because maybe he still wants to sign a new contract with Chelsea. So the agent might just be saying, Liverpool wants you, Man U wants you, Arsenal wants you. Maybe it's just the agent just feeding this so that when they start negotiating, you now start saying, okay, I want 400K a week salary. You never know. So you might not even want to move,
True. Let me take some comments. Dr. Sakic says Toni Kroos will be proud of that Casemiro pass. That was fire. It was. Inter coming in with a big surprise in Champions League final. Listen, amen.
Big amen.
Look, I don't like Lukaku, but that day I am riding with him all the way through. Bro. Like, Sugar 30. Sugar 30 thinks everyone is an NFL manager like him. Including the English premium max 35 to 40 mil. Okay, so Psychiatrist is thinking more like 35 to 40. All right. Curtis Jones is Wijnaldum 2.0. Just look at the stats. We get McAllister, Mount, and a right back. I'd call it a great summer. Forward line is not our problem. Yeah, what do you think about that, Ola?
Firmino is going, so yeah, we didn't really struggle for goals, even with the man who can't do step overs, Nunes coming in.
He scored a few. Right.
He scored 15. He scored 15, and he didn't even start many games. And this is why I'm worried about our forward line. Forward line is not our problem now, but next season, if Nunes keeps up this injury record, this man keeps missing games for various reasons. The last 3 games now, he had toe problem. So, my guy has missed 3 games on the toe problem, so he's been having this consistent.
When it was doing step over,
maybe it was a step over, and then now broke his big toe. I don't know. So I'm starting to get worried about his injury record. Jota was injured for quite a bit this season. We didn't have him until like maybe from February, January onwards.
Yeah. Luis Diaz, didn't Luis Diaz also?
Diaz was out for the season until like February, March. So at the moment, the forward line looks great. But if they keep up this injury record between all of them, Salah is the only one that doesn't get injured. He rarely gets injured. So I might think we might need to buy maybe a striker, but not a first choice striker. Maybe just a backup, because Firmino is gone.
How about that kid you got from Fulham? Can't he?
Yeah, it's a 10, Fabio Carvalho.
Okay.
That's the problem. Like you said, Klopp does not use a 10. He bought this boy, you know he's a 10, and then you bought him, and then you played him for like 4 or 5 games, and after that, the boy never smelt. He rarely even got in the squad. And then Klopp will go to the media and he'll say, "Oh, this boy is trained so hard. I love this boy." The next match, he will put him on the bench. You say you love this boy, but you're not playing him. So let him go. You know, he's 19. I feel sorry for the boy because he's just acting in full now.
I think he'll do bits on loan at like.
He's brilliant. That boy is good.
Fulham or somewhere.
Oh, he's good.
Loan him back to Fulham. They need him.
I think that's what the story is now. We want to loan him. I don't know where we're loaning him to, but yeah, it's sad because if you know this boy is a 10, why did you get him and you just wasted a year of his career? Because you are not going to use him. So he is good, but it's not a striker. But in answer to your question, you're saying that do we need a forward? At the moment, forward line is true, it's not a problem. But man, next season, if this our injury record goes on, I think we might actually need some, because Firmino scored again today. Firmino actually got double figures, and Firmino himself was injured most big part of the season. So
Okay. Comment: if we get Mount, Ryan Gravenberch is. If we don't get Mount, Ryan Gravenberch is my pick. Okay.
There are different positions there. They play slightly different positions.
Probably out on loan for club. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's going out on loan. Yeah.
But I actually didn't even think about the point Ola made, which is that this plot of whole Arsenal, Man U, Liverpool might actually be a plot, because isn't Chelsea really his childhood club, like the club?
Yeah, he's a Chelsea boy.
So that's what I'm saying. I actually believe Ola in a way where it might actually be possible to that the agents are just chasing all of us, giving us a goose chase, and just to get more bargaining power for him to be able to get more money.
Why you are really against the Mount signing? You can't fit him into the team, or you just don't like him as a player?
Okay, so one, so it's maybe part of it is I look at him and I look at Frank. I just see Frank Lampard. That's Frank Lampard's son. If you let me look, Mason Mount. If somebody gets a hold of his hair,
you're right. You're actually right. He plays like Lampard.
Go run his 23 on me. That's Frank Lampard's son. I'm telling you. But even aside from that, the guy is. So I look at Mason Mount and I look at what is needed in my team, right? Or just what he is in general. Mason Mount, the closest you can fit Mason Mount in that midfield is like the 8th position, right? Because as a 6, he's not a 6. He doesn't provide any defensive cover at all. 10, I don't think is that. Yeah, I don't think it's a 10. 10 as a 10, you have to be able to create chances. You have to have great passing. He's just not that. Now, as an 8, okay, if I bring him onto my team as an 8, is he really an improvement on Christian Eriksen in that position right now? Defensively, not really. The only way he's an improvement on Christian Eriksen right now is that he might be able to get around the pitch more. Eriksen is older, he doesn't have as much of an engine as Mason Mount does. So if I'm bringing Mason Mount to Manchester United, he has to be an upgrade on what I already have, and he's not. I cannot make the case that he is, which is why I don't want him. Is he press
especially not for 80 million?
Especially not for 80 million. Is he press resistant? Not really. Is he great defensively? Not really. Is he one of those creative players that will find space and make it seem like he has more space than usual, like a Frankie de Jong, for example? Not really. So what am I getting him for then? And I'm tired of Chelsea reject. I'm tired. I had Matic came, Mata came. No, I don't want Mason Mount. I don't want it.
That's a definite no from you.
No, it is a no. But so I guess it's safe to say that he'll fit in best at Liverpool. But even then, you might are not taking him for more than 35.
Yeah,
30,
no,
35.
not more than that. Not more than that.
Yeah.
I know Klopp can drill some maybe defensive strength into him.
Yeah.
The appeal for me is he gets goals. He scores from midfield. Apart from that, there's nothing special. Like it's not like it's world class, and we need to fill in some of our English quota. Squad we have to have English quota because we're losing Milner. We're losing Oxlade-Chamberlain.
That is true.
I think we might lose our goalkeeper who also fills in our homegrown quota. So that's why, apart from the playing side, we need homegrown English players. So I think maybe that's why we might go for him.
If you need English player, you can collect Maguire.
Maguire, yeah, it's homegrown, Abi.
Yeah, it's English. Yeah.
We can put him on. Yeah, we can put him in. We can put him in our canteen to help us to be serving food.
You might even, if you need like a bus driver too. You don't know. Yeah.
No disrespect to Maguire, please. No disrespect. He might be the one lifting the cup for you next week.
Hey, look, that would be the last time I'm seeing his armpits. In fact, the first time I saw his armpits was this season, and it was really Bruno Fernandes, but we shall give him like that. So
he lifted it in the League Cup.
Yeah. Okay, we have another comment. Sakat is the biggest scammer. Listen, Dr. Sakat, you should be arrested alongside the Leicester City chairman. That guy, for you, bro, this guy got 150 million pounds for Maguire and Fofana combined. That is the biggest scam in the history of football. Hush puppy, no do rich person this one.
419 settings.
419 settings, bro. But this, okay. I want you to speak first to this issue. Who had the better season? Because now the season is over. Well, we still have the FA Cup final to play, but let's just presume, Manchester City will win that game. If the season ends like this, United in top 4, Arsenal in top 4, Arsenal bottled the league as in spectacular fashion. United finished 3rd with a League Cup. Even though it was a Mickey Mouse trophy, like I said last season. Who do you think had the better season? You're a neutral.
Hey, I don't know. I don't know why Arsenal fans find this kind of debates interesting, because when you see them in the group, it's a passionate debate that we had a better season, we finished 2nd. I don't know. For me, it's always been straightforward. Football, big clubs, you want some silverware, man. Now, I'm not saying that you carry the cup and then finish 16th and then you had a bad season. That's not what we're saying here. There are two different things, because some people say, League Cup is nonsense. But it's still a major trophy. It's a major honor. But in this situation, it's even clearer to me because United finished third. You got to FA Cup final. You got to the okay. I just assume you lost it, but you might actually win it. And then you won the League Cup. At the League Cup, it's not like you just went there and beat a team from the 6th division. It was Newcastle in the final, and it was a tough match. So it's not like they just handed that cup to you. So the people that always dismiss trophies and just say, "Oh, that trophy is this, that trophy is that." Man, you still have to go out there and win. You still have to go out there and carry the cup. It's not. They don't hand it out. You have to play 5 matches to get to the League Cup final. You have to sweat. You have to. It doesn't matter if it's the fourth rated cup in England. It's still a major trophy.
Henry, you have something to say.
I'm listening closely.
Okay, finish.
Remember, you know what's interesting? What was this question? Is it who had the better Premier League or who had the better?
Overall season.
Look at the question. Who had the better?
It's not league season now. If it's league season, obviously it's Arsenal now. If it's league season, but if we're talking about overall, and when you say overall, there are certain objectives some teams go into a season with. Like this season now, United wanted to make the Champions League, and that was the base setting because United were not there; they were in Europa last year. So, Ten Hag has achieved that, and then he's won a trophy and got into another final. Arsenal wanted to get to the Champions League; they've got into the Champions League, but they didn't win the trophy. So at the end of the day, okay, you challenged, but I don't know. They don't give medals for challenging. You challenge up. Liverpool, we have done this many times. So we'll get to the final day. We are challenging for the league title and we still lose it. But they didn't give us any trophy for that. They didn't give us any medals. We got to the final day with Man City and we lost by 1 point. People trolled us. They still trolled us last season. We came second because we didn't lift the league. That's the main thing. There's no prizes. There are no prizes for, you're finishing second. Yeah, it's good that, you had a good season, but at the end of the day, you didn't lift any silverware. And that's why I think United, it's obvious to me, but I know people have a lot of contrary opinions to that. So go ahead, area. I can see you're boiling.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, I want you guys to know that it's funny. I screenshot this thing. I even went back to my screenshot and I looked for that post at the beginning of the season when they asked all of you, what would us top 4? How many of you here said Arsenal were going to get to top 4? I just be honest. There's receipts.
Henry, you're not answering the question.
No. I'm getting somewhere. Okay. You understand? Can you remember Ola Ogakwame? At the beginning,
I remember. Listen, I had Arsenal outside of the top 4 right now. I had Arsenal as number 6.
Nobody gave Arsenal any chance of smelling, not coming closer, smelling top 4, right? Because of that one singular thing, and how obviously we fell short of not winning the trophy, and also on the points. Do you guys realize? Our greatest season, the greatest season Arsenal has had has been the invincible season, right? Where we always talk about, they went the whole seasons. This year, this team actually had more points than the invincibles.
Yeah,
do you understand
eras. Different eras.
No, there are different eras now. But you also
different presidents, different.
That's fine. But I'm just saying, even if you compare our points, like if you're measuring progress, right? You would say this season Arsenal has taken a step forward.
Oh yeah, nobody's disputing that now.
So just because of that alone, I will say Arsenal has had a better season. Now, obviously, if we're saying trophies and everything, that changes the discussion. Obviously, if you win a silverware, it puts you at a significant advantage. But if I'm just checking the Premier League alone, like who has had a better Premier League? Which is not the question you guys had, but I'm just giving my own. Who has had a better Premier League? I would say Arsenal.
Of course, Arsenal. Nobody will dispute that.
Who has had a better season as a whole? Yes. Even if you compare you people's showing in Europa League, you guys did better than us in Europa League, right? So those are the things we're using to weigh this thing. in general, yes, Man U did better. Man U had a better showing.
Oh,
But
you're
in
not
the
making
league,
this
I
sweet,
think
Henry. Why are you
no, no,
agreeing
no.
now?
I mean, I'm a very,
You
I'm a
should be
very
disagreeing
straightforward.
with this.
No, no, no.
I
Me,
need
I'm a very,
EJ.
very
I should have brought
straightforward.
EJ on this podcast today.
No, no, no. I'm a very straightforward person, and I won't sugarcoat things, right? But I just always like to remember you guys. Like none of you guys gave Arsenal the chance
Oh,
to
for
be
sure.
where they are at the end of the season. So I think it counts for something. And we're always
Oh, it
forgetting
does.
Arsenal is still the youngest team, right? Are we not one of the youngest, either the youngest or the second youngest team in the Premier League?
I think you
Do you
guys were
understand?
the
Like,
youngest.
yeah, and they're
Yeah.
reaching this feat already. Like, and in a way, you know, this team overachieved this year. We were very lucky. Don't get it twisted. Next season is really Arteta's main season to prove himself because this year, a lot of the teams that were supposed to do great didn't do great. So next season is really because next season he has shown now that he has a foundation base. Next season, he's gonna either have to, depending on how they strengthen or don't strengthen, that will determine where Arsenal goes. Because next season is make or bust for us. If they don't win at least one correct trophy, and I'm not even saying FA Cup. Well, FA Cup is correct. I'm sorry. They have to win something tangible. They have to win. If I'm saying it now, everybody should come back and kill me next season. If Arsenal don't win something tangible, only one, I'm never asking for two. They have to win something tangible.
Henry, what
Even if
if
it's
what
FA
if
Cup.
what will you take? How about you guys? Because of course you guys are in the Champions League, right? If you guys drop down to Europa League and win Europa League, will you take that?
It's still a
Is that
trophy.
something
According
tangible?
to
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
because
Cool,
now
cool, cool.
you have to cultivate that habit of
Habit
winning.
of winning. Exactly.
It
Listen,
doesn't come
if you don't learn
overnight.
to raise your armpit up, it will just forever be down like this. So
Your range of motion, your
at
range of
least me, I've
motion,
seen my
your
own
range of
armpits
motion
this
will be
season.
limited. Your range of
Yeah,
motion will be
exactly,
limited.
exactly.
You will have stiff
range of,
muscles.
range of motion will
We've
just
forgotten
it
how to
just
win. We've
yeah.
forgotten how to win.
He
We
said
need
you
to
have stiff
cultivate.
muscles.
Yeah,
Yes.
we need to
You can't
cultivate
carry
that
shoulder, you cannot
aptitude.
booga, you just be like this.
Bro, so that's what I'm hoping, and what is really going to determine is our preseason and who we get on or who we don't get. That's really what's going to define Arsenal season next year. But I'm really excited for next year, though. I mean, again, in closing, Man U had a better season overall, but I think in the Premier League, Arsenal put on a show.
Oh,
we
absolutely.
pushed Man City, but it's just the firepower was not enough.
Those
At some
guys are
point,
wicked.
it became baby powder instead of real bullets.
On one hand, I feel sorry for Arsenal fans because Man City have done this to us. So I know the kind of pain they're feeling
on multiple occasions.
On multiple occasions, because you win and they will win. You win, they will win. You win, you'll be like, these guys, they don't stop winning.
And then you draw and then they win.
As in, that's us at the end of the season, like the last 15 games, Man City are just so relentless. And so I don't even blame Arsenal for like collapsing under the pressure, because even teams that were more experienced, like Liverpool, we didn't have a very young team when we were competing. Like Arsenal, this is their first title challenge and they're a young team. So I don't even blame them for collapsing. It's just that the fans that were making out, that's what made it sweet for us to yab them. It's not even the team I'm yabbing, it's the fans I'm yabbing, because I know those boys tried, those young boys tried, they pushed Man City. But it's the fans, those big mouthed ones that won't let us rest.
The ones that were printing shirts. The ones that were printing shirts. The ones that were saying, no, Henry, let me cook. Hold on. The ones that were saying the ones that were saying it's a blessing in disguise that we left Europa League. You remember? Blessing in disguise. We can focus on the league. Blessing in disguise. We can focus on the league. These guys told us they had bigger fish to fry. Bigger fish, bro. No. Your fish has turned to panla. What are you saying now? Your fish has turned to a shower. What are you saying now, bro? These guys were waiting. Some people already bought tickets. Somebody already bought tickets to go to London for the parade. Nah. But let me take comment from Saka. Saka says, Arsenal fans should be in an asylum. United has a silverware top four, and Arsenal had a better season, and they wonder why the whole forum is on the ass instead of Chelsea or Liverpool. And those initial gra, I told them in October they'll lose their head like Missandei. I know a loser when I see one. Look at my face every morning. Oh my God. At least United can do something in UCL. Arsenal would just tend to call. I'm sorry. Let me read this again. At least United can do something in UCL. Arsenal would just tend to collect from Bayern all the likes. Without European competition, they lost head in the end. Let's see what they can do competing on 4 fronts.
Yeah, they need a bigger squad. Like Henry said, they need a bigger squad for sure.
Thank you. And I've always, even at the peak of all these things, and that's why I kept telling any Arsenal fan and everybody, we never had that squad to challenge. Like when everything got to the end of like the last 6, 7, 8 games, where fatigue, everything are setting, injuries. You could look at City's players. Like literally, one person goes down, it's plug and play. It's almost like sometimes even the person that comes from the bench plays better than the person that went out. Do you understand what I mean? It's like sometimes like Mahrez. Imagine okay, Oga Kwame and Ola, if they give you guys Mahrez right now, are you guys going to tell me you're not going to take Mahrez in your team?
Of course not. We'll take Mahrez.
That's what I'm saying. And look at the class.
My own writing guy is turning like this.
turning around, turning on
you. So that's the difference. The difference in class is like it's so huge. And even other teams too, right? Chelsea, Man U, Spurs. Nobody has this type of team City has. Once City gets, the only person that could have even contested back in the days was actually Liverpool. Because once City gets into that gear, forget it. Just forget it.
Yeah.
It's vibes and inshallah from there. Just vibes.
Even inshallah, I'll be like on your own. Let me take last comment. I think Arsenal. Who's this? I think Arsenal the best.
Yeah, they should put their names. Please remind them to put their names. We need to know.
Put your name. So I think this is Joannu. I'm guessing, but let's read the comments. I think Arsenal had the better season given the expectation for the season. What do you think? Who do you think met the expectation and surpassed for the season? Winning your Carling Cup does not mask the disappointment. Man United were one of those expected to challenge for the title.
No, even me, I'm not a United fan, but I disagree with that, man.
Whoever you are, please. Okay, Facebook user, please identify yourself because
identify yourself.
I have smoke for you. I have smoke for you. No. What do you mean United?
That's wrong.
Okay, I want you to tell me which United fan said we are going to challenge for the title. Really?
United finished 6th. Was it 6th last season? Yes.
We finished 6th. We finished number 6 after the worst season we've had.
Yeah.
We haven't. Then we brought a new manager, and you said we're trying to. We were
for the title. That person who wrote that comment, that's wrong. And also, I don't understand. Nobody's disputing that Arsenal didn't have a good season. I think people are misunderstanding the question. We're not saying Arsenal didn't have a good season. Arsenal had a very good season. We're comparing it with another team which also had a good season. So, United also had a good season. Arsenal had a good season. We're just saying, okay, comparing the two, who had the better season. Of course, Arsenal exceeding expectations. Yeah, that's commendable. They exceeded expectations. Nobody knew they would challenge. That doesn't mean that you can't compare them to another team who also exceeded expectations, because United also exceeded expectations. How many people were saying that United were going to finish third? How many people had United as third? Not many people. I'm sure some people have United in the top 4. So who is this? Put your name. Why are you saying United finished 6th? This person is just making
Facebook user. Yes, United finished 6th. Arsenal finished what? 5th? Yes, Arsenal finished 5th. And again, going back to Ola's point, you're misunderstanding the question. Nobody is undermining what Arsenal did this season. Okay, I did not expect Arsenal to be in the title race at all. I did not expect. I had them outside the top 4. I had them finishing number 6. I had Manchester United finishing number 5. Okay, so I don't know what point you're trying to make, but exactly. United surpassed expectation. This is a manager who came on the back of United having the worst season
and turbulence. This guy had to have the turbulence throughout the season. Ronaldo, injuries.
He has to do with
all of that.
Ronaldo. He has to do with Harry Maguire. Lost the first 2 games of the season. First of all, he was not even, they were not even done unveiling him as the manager of Manchester United. The media started attacking him. They're like, oh, we don't like him. He's rude. Oh, he doesn't know how to speak. His English is not that great. Oh, he doesn't smile enough in press conferences, bro. And then he had to deal with Cristiano Ronaldo. Do you know what it means? Do you know what it means for, as a manager, in your first season, for the most visible player on your squad to go to Piers Morgan and burn down the club?
Exactly.
This guy burned down the club, and this guy shat on the entire club and the manager. He had to deal with all that. This man also had to deal with media media attacking him because, oh, he doesn't want to play Harry Maguire. He had to deal with that. He had to deal with look at our transfer window in January. We brought Weghorst, bro. Weghorst and Sabitzer. Man like Sabinus. Man like Sabinus, right?
Compare that to what Arsenal did in the January window. Arsenal brought in Trossard, Jorginho,
and Jorginho.
Compare and contrast.
And he's dealing with a sale. He's also dealing with an ongoing sale. We don't know what's going to happen with that club right now.
Yeah, more distraction off the pitch. More distraction.
Exactly. So many distractions. Ola, we're not done. Mason Greenwood, he had to deal with that too.
Exactly.
You know, so
now,
look,
I'm not even a United fan, but I can't even agree with these comments these people are making here. What's all this surpassed expectation? Yeah, people surpassed when Liverpool challenged for the league the first time. We surpassed expectation, but nobody gave us a trophy for that. Nobody gave us because nobody expected us to challenge with City, but we challenged with them. We surpassed expectation. And people were like, okay, you had a good season, but where's all this? Oh, they surpassed expectation. So that means it's like, oh, the best thing ever. Yeah, clubs surpass expectations. That sometimes you have to surpass expectations. And where is this? Oh, United finished 6th. Okay, yeah, they finished 6th, and now they finished 3rd. Arsenal finished 5th. Now they finished 2nd. So it's not. Yeah, it's still proportional progress on both sides. And then United added silverware. At the end of the day, League Cup, okay, it's not the biggest trophy ever. It is still silverware. It's a major honor. I never agree with people who dismiss trophies. If you win a trophy, man, props to you. Props to you. I will never dismiss any trophy lifted because I know how difficult it is. Liverpool went, even club, the first 5 years, Liverpool didn't win any trophy. The first 4 years, of club. We were getting to finals, we're losing. And these people are trolling us. Let me give you an example of Kwame. If United had lost that final to Newcastle, these same people that are dismissing your trophy will be the same ones who would have trolled United. They would have killed you. They would have killed you online. These people that are saying that League Cup is nothing now, they're the same people that would have killed you online. They'll say, oh, why didn't you win the League Cup? You know?
Exactly. Watch what happens. Let's use that as a segue to go to the FA Cup final prediction. If we do not win that FA Cup final,
they'll troll you.
Mr. Facebook user, I don't know who that person is, whoever they are. I expect that person to come back and troll me for not winning the FA Cup final. But
I mean, when you win it, you now say, "Oh, it's just FA Cup." It's just FA Cup. Exactly. That's what they do. That's what fans do. Oh, it's just FA Cup now. Why are you happy? Why are you happy? It's just FA Cup.
At the end of the day, me, I don't care. I don't care what trophy. I just like to see my captain's armpit. That's all.
Exactly.
I like to see my captain's armpit. I like to see my manager's armpit. You know, because like Henry said, you lose range of motion. You know, you lose range of motion if you
muscles become stiff.
Yeah, your muscle becomes stiff. You know that all that muscle atrophies. You know, you can't move it anymore. So you know. Anyway, Henry, FA Cup final prediction. What do you see happening, please? How much do you see City beating United by?
I see it's gonna be like a close game. But even based off of the squad City put out today, you can kind of tell that they're just saving their firepower for you guys in the Champions League. Yeah. So I actually think it's gonna be closer than a lot of people think. For some reason, it's a derby too, right? Forget the whole fact too that it's a League Cup, you know, it's a final, but it's also it's a derby, so anything can happen. It's always those type of games, anything can happen. But I still kind of favor them a little bit because obviously they have more firepower. But I see I would say 3-1. And then if
Okay.
it's not 3-1, then maybe it goes into penalties. It's either one of the two.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like what you think.
Yeah, I think it will be tight. I think it will be tight, and I think Guardiola will start getting a bit worried. He was saying he wanted them to maintain their momentum, and their last two games they've not won, they've drawn and they've
Yeah, yeah,
lost today.
yeah,
And he might start getting worried that, man, some of those players, I know he's been resting players. United
yeah.
have played consistently. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to talk myself into believing that United have a chance, to be honest. I'm trying to talk myself into it because I don't know. Guardiola winning the treble, that would just be an end of football. Like, basically, we will never hear word again. These Pepsi drinkers will not let us hear word. They'll just be sipping Pepsi forever. So, I don't know. I think United have a chance, though, because United will be much sharper because you've been playing consistently. You've had like 3 games a week. Your players have been playing. Even Rashford, that was injured a bit, is back now. Match fitness. City, they'll control the game. Let's not lie. They're going to hold the ball. But United always have that pace up front to worry them. It will be tight. I think it will be tight. City probably will still sneak it. But it's not going to, it's not a foregone conclusion. I don't think they are smashing United 4-0, 5-0 now. Maybe it will be 1-0 or 2-1 or something like that. Yeah, but it's been interesting though. It's been interesting. I know United players will die there because they will just want to stop City winning this treble. Honestly, that's the motivation. That's all the motivation you need.
And that's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking for. I mean, am I going into the game with a lot of? I'm going into the game with less hope but more belief. I don't think we will. I don't think my head is not telling me that we'll beat Manchester City, but my heart is just believing that we will go there, give a great account of ourselves, and maybe take the game into penalties. And at that point, we don't know what. I mean, anything can happen. If all I'm asking for is a great defensive shape. That is it.
Yeah.
Great defensive shape, like we did when we played them earlier in the season at Old Trafford. If we go in there, because I remember that game, he had Fred and Casemiro in that midfield and Bruno Fernandes, I believe. And it was defensive shape settings. That is all there was to it. So if we do that, we go in there, great defensive shape. And if you put Rashford with green grass in front of him, anything can happen, right? Anything can happen. Anthony, I think he's going to be out, but I believe Rashford has enough pace. Maybe Garnacho comes on the second half, does something. But I just need a solid defensive shape. I mean, I'm gonna have to back my team. I have to back my team and say we'll win on penalties. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say. We'll win on penalties.
And especially now, David De Gea is saving penalties now. So
now that David De Gea knows how to save penalties again. But whoever our goalkeeping coach is, I need that water bottle. I need Jordan Pickford. That Jordan Pickford, was it Jordan Pickford that did that? The expo. I need Jordan Pickford's expo, please. But anyway, we've gotten to the Kudos and Donkey, part of the week. I mean, part of the show. Ola, who's your Kudos of the week?
Kudos, Victor Osimhen. Osimhen. They have one song that they sing for him, like Osimhen, Osimhen, Osimhen. The guy scored twice today. I think he's basically wrapped up the Golden Boot in Serie A. The first African player, I think probably the first black player ever to win the Golden Boot in Serie A.
I'm sure George Weah never won it.
No, he never won it. George Weah didn't even score this number of goals in a season. George Weah was great, but it wasn't prolific like that. People think it was he was not a prolific player. And Osimhen is on 25 league goals already. He scored twice today. I just think it's a thing of joy that like a Nigerian player is the first black player to win Golden Boot. And I think he has 4 goals gap to the next person. So unless the next person scores like 5 goals in the final game, which I doubt it. So yeah, kudos to him. Donkey of the week. Well, I have to go with Dortmund first because I don't know how they threw that away. Dortmund, it was in their hands. It was like just take this trophy and go home with it. And they just dropped it. We don't want it. And they just straight away. I don't know what happened there. I can't imagine a team that the team they were playing against didn't even have anything to play for. That's what's even annoying me. I'm even angrier with the team that played against them. Like, you guys, you had nothing to play for. Just roll over, roll over. Let them get their 3 points and win this league. This Mainz FC, the Mainz FC guys were ridiculous. Like, they lost their 4 matches before that. They lost the 4 games before that. Yeah, Mainz, they had lost 4 matches, and then the final game, you came and died there and said, no, we are not going to allow you to win the league. Are you not tired of Bayern Munich winning the league 10 years in a row, and then you now went to spoil the show for Dortmund? So, but yeah, Donkeys of the Week, Dortmund. But my own personal one, Mitrovic. First player to miss 4 penalties in one season. 4 penalties in one season. And this guy cost me. I know Dr. Saikat is online. He's happy now because he has won this fantasy football final that we had today because of that. Because De Gea saved a penalty and Dr. Saikat David De Gea. And David De Gea got 7 points and 6 points for saving the penalty. And basically that's what let him beat me today. And Mitrovic is useless. I don't know why they keep letting him take these penalties. How can you miss 4 penalties in one season? Salah missed twice this season, and we're all screaming that Salah, you missed 2 penalties. We don't want you to take penalties again. This guy has missed 4 penalties, and basically cost me a chance of winning $100. because if I had won that match, I would have got $100. So Mitrovic, donkey of the week, donkey.
Henry, go ahead.
Mine is a little bit different. My donkey is kind of like a backhanded slap, but I think it goes to Sam Allardyce. You know how he always feels like he's the ultimate savior of, he has the final say on whoever gets relegated. Like, he feels he always escapes relegation, but today, real life caught up with him, so he gets my donkey. I think obviously what Osimhen has been able to accomplish this season is it's impeccable. And then just also think about his the human touch he adds to football. I don't know if you guys got to see what he did over the weekend. I don't know if it was this weekend or a weekend ago, where his man of the match award, he gave it to this not a younger, but a guy, he gave him the trophy.
Oh, wow.
Nice. You don't usually see people do that, but it shows you how connected this guy is to his fans. He understands where he's coming from. He understands what's on his shoulders. That's why till today, I still have not forgiven Nigeria for not making this World Cup, because I was expecting him to at least put on a showing in that World Cup. I hope we can get our acts together for the next one. And luckily, it's going to be in our area, right? Kwame. So it's in America, I believe. It's in multiple countries. So hopefully we can get to actually watch these guys. But I really think the kudos goes to him week in, week out. I think his demise also kind of cost Napoli a little bit, his injury within that short spell when they needed him. I think that AC Milan showing was just because he wasn't there. Because AC Milan, as you can see against Inter, they kind of did not have any beat. Anyways, whatever. But it kind of rubbed him off that potential feather on the cap. But that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah. For me, my kudos, I picked Vinicus. We're with him. This is one of those things where the entire world is behind him, and keep your head up, and hopefully things like that will stop because it's Vinicius today, it can be Osimhen tomorrow, who knows. And my donkey has to go to Dortmund, man. Dortmund Arsenal the Bundesliga. That's what they did. Dortmund, my goodness, like all they had to do and they were at home too, weren't they? They were at home.
They were at home.
Their fans. These guys. No. They must have. I think Dortmund must be working in the Arsenal bottling factory. Seriously. They must be the shift manager. Dortmund must be the shift manager for the Arsenal bottling factory, because the way they bottled that spectacularly. These guys literally could make Bayern. they had the power to make Bayern Munich go trophyless this season, because Bayern Munich would have been the butlers.
Yeah,
They would have been the butlers, because remember they fired Homeboy because they wanted to win the treble. Now they could have gone from treble to no druple, but Dortmund, man, they're donkeys, absolute donkeys. Donkey also has to go to Leeds United, man. Sam Allardyce. This just to double down on what Henry said. Remember last season too, they brought him to keep West Brom up.
Yeah, and he took them down.
And he failed. So 2 seasons in a row now, right? He has failed. Big Sam, looking like Sam O'Tarley from Game of Thrones. Get out of here. Man thinks the relegation specialist. Yes, you're a relegation specialist because you've relegated 2 teams 2 seasons in a row. You're like useless, man. But but even Leeds United, it serves them right. Because they lost their way a lot. They forgot the principles. They forgot the principles that helped them through the championship to come to the Premier League. And maybe I'm being a little too patient, but I just felt like they were too impatient with Marcelo Bielsa.
Yeah,
they were too impatient with him. They gave him the boot, and now they've gone from Marcelo Bielsa football to whatever the heck it is they're playing right now. But anyway, we have come to the end of the show. Big up all of you guys that joined us in the comments. Dr. Sycat, big up to you. Daya as well. Oh, Daya had a comment. Daya said it's a cup final. City have a Champions League final. Distraction to think about. Leicester won Chelsea. Wigan won City in the final. Man United to deny City the treble. Amen.
Interesting.
Amen to that. Listen, if that happens, I'm going to be happy. Listen, I am going to be happy because
we'll be looking forward to your hot takes. And it's time again, Manchester United.
Don't worry, you'll see. Either way, it's what you. I will either be happy or be livid. You'll see it.
I need to say this on air. Hot take on your match reactions. I'll explain it, and my daughters every time. What's wrong with him? Is he okay?
I got to come and see your life.
Tell them I'm okay. It's just football. Football has a way of changing you. But anyway, thanks for joining us, guys. Allah, appreciate you for joining.
No problem.
Henry,
always a pleasure, guys. And hopefully we can get to do more of this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, even though the season is over, we still do some review. We'll do like an Arsenal review, Chelsea review, where it'll be a therapy session, pretty much.
Basically, yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, guys.
Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye.